Today I'm going to be showing you what we do with the flowers when we get them in from our local wholesaler. So today I'm working with some roses that need to go out in designs for tomorrow. So this is what they look like when we get them in from our wholesaler. I have my cooler bucket here filled with water and Floralife flower food that's going to help hydrate my stems. I'm also using the Floralife Quick Dip. Those will help quickly hydrate these stems. Okay. My handy dandy knife. I'm going to unbox. So these are Freedom Roses. They're one of the most popular roses you see in your red dozen roses. These do have thorns. So to keep my hands safe, I'm going to put on some gloves that will protect my hands while I strip the roses. They do make thorn strippers that you can run straight down. However, sometimes those are bad about ripping off some of the stem. When it damages the stem, it's not able to take in the water and keep it like it should, and so the roses are not going to last as long or open up as beautifully. So we want to take good care so that we have quality roses that are going to last our customer. If these are going out in handheld bouquets, then I will do something to dull the edges of these thorns or get them off carefully. I may carefully use a rose stripper. But these are going to be designed into foam, so I'm not going to remove the thorns at all. I'm just going to remove the foliage. And so with these, they're a thick gardening glove, and I feel nothing when I go down through there, and I'm able to quickly remove the foliage. So this is part of why when you get flowers from a florist, why they cost more than just from your grocery store. When you go to your average grocery store to pick up some roses, they're normally bunched in a plastic wrap, and they still have all this on it. And so the problem with that is if you take it home and stick it in a vase like this, all this foliage down here is going to dirty up your water. It's going to grow bacteria, and then they are not going to live as long. They also don't look as nice. So we want our flowers going out in the best condition possible. So that's one of the things you get when you buy your flowers from a florist. They're not just coming straight in from somewhere in a pre-wrap and stuck out there. Also, we will hydrate ours enough to make sure that they open up. They do look like this when they come in, but what we want when they go back out our door, we want them, or at least most of them, to be opened and blooming. And so we got to get them to that point. We got to help them out a little bit without letting them sit so long. We don't want to take time off their life, but we do want them to start blooming. Now that I have one box stripped, spin it around so you can see. We're going to take them. I usually do not take more than 6 at a time just because I want a nice cut. And I'm going to use my little handy dandy bouquet chopper right there. And I want all the length of my stems to be the same when I'm cutting, so I don't take off anything extra that shortens the stem. So I don't line them up by the top, I line them up by the bottoms, so we're not removing any excess length from our stems. So I'm going to put it in there, give it a quick chop. I am dipping them down into my quick dip to help them get hydrated. And then from the quick dip, they are going straight into my bucket. Now, the last thing that I'm going to do for now in the processing is I'm going to spray the heads of my roses with Crown and Glory. I love Crown and Glory. What it does is put a nice hydrating seal on the tops of my roses so that the water and flower food that it's drinking are not going to evaporate from the top. So this is just going to help them not only get more hydrated, it's going to help them stay hydrated. So now I cannot put these in the cooler until first they need to sit out for at least an hour just to get fully hydrated from the water in the bottom. Also, the Crown and Glory needs to completely dry before going into the cooler. So, and sometimes the amount of time I leave them sitting out depends on how much I need them to open for when they're going out. These are going out the door tomorrow, so I'm going to let them sit and get fully hydrated for probably 2 hours today at least. Give them a chance to start opening and showing off all their beauty, and then they'll be ready to design with. So now you know, when roses come in from the wholesalers, we don't just stick those in the cooler and then pop them into arrangements. There are hours worth of work and setting and preparation that we do with every stem that comes through our door, just for us to get it ready to pull it back out to design for you before it goes back out the door. This right here, all of this is where the quality comes from. So when you're buying florist flowers, you are buying quality. You are buying more than the stem. You're buying the time that they spend to make these as beautiful as they can be and last as long as possible once you take them home.